Hello everyone, welcome back to a video on my channel. Today we'll be reviewing Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the Chalice of the Gods, in a Tesla Model Y while we're driving with Uncle Kutti Harry. So, about the Chalice of the Gods. The Chalice of the Gods was the author of the Chalice of God is Rick Riordan, and he is known to be an author of mythology, and he makes a lot of books about the Greek myths, Roman myths, Norse myths, which are all different kinds of mythologies. So this book is about Greek mythology and Roman mythology kind of mixed together. So the book was first said that it was going to be released in October 28th, 2022, and it was released in September 26, 2023, around a few months ago. And about the book is, boy in the picture, Percy is now 17, and after getting his memory erased by Hera in the previous series, where the Heroes of Olympic, which I would say that you would have to read first if you want to understand what happens in the book. But in this book, it talks about what happens after the second series of Percy Jackson, which is the main thing that Rick Riordan writes about in his Greek mythology books. So in this book, it talks Percy wants to go to a university with his girlfriend Annabeth Chase, who is also a demigod. A demigod in Rick Riordan's book are children who are half human, half gods, which means that their godparents kind of like got together with their human parents and had a child with them. Percy is the son of Poseidon, while his girlfriend Annabeth Chase is a child of the goddess Athena. As Percy is a child of the god Poseidon, one of the big three are the three most powerful Greek mythology gods, he needs to get 3 recommendation letters or quests, because as he wants to go to a special demigod university where demigods are protected from monsters that would kill them because they're children of gods. Why else would they want to kill their kids? So Percy wants to go to this university with his girlfriend, but unfortunately, because he is a child of the Big Three, which in Rick Riordan's fictional world, the children of the Big Three are very powerful and very much forbidden. Any child of the Big Three were supposed to be killed, which you'll find out in the first series of Percy Jackson. But Percy wasn't, and he saved the world twice, maybe even 3 times. And then in this one, he wants to go to New Rome University. And when he wants to go to New Rome University, first he needs to make sure that he gets all the grades he needs. Thanks to Hera, he had amnesia and didn't complete his junior year at high school. But also, he needs to make sure he gets 3 recommendation letters, because being a child of Poseidon means that, oh no, you're not allowed to go to a demigod university because you were not supposed to be born. So now he has to get 3 recommendation quests, and this is specifically only for Percy Jackson. So it talks about how Percy's dad is trying to help him out because he wants his Poseidon wants his child to go to university and have fun. So Poseidon puts up a notice board in Mount Olympus, which is now in Manhattan, where the center of the gods are, because in Rick Riordan's fantastical world, the Greek gods have followed the Western civilization. So all the Greek gods moved to New York. So Poseidon put up a notice board on Mount Olympus and tried to get gods to give some recommendation letters to Percy so that he could go to New Rome University like he wanted. And Percy gets one the very next day by a man called Ganymede. So Ganymede is the cupbearer of Zeus, the king of the gods. Basically, Zeus kind of cheats on his wife like all the time, and one of these times, Zeus looks out at the mortals apparently and sees Ganymede, a really handsome young man who's walking around. So what does Zeus do? Leave him alone? No. He transforms in their ego and kidnaps Ganymede and turns him into an immortal person just so he can make sure that no one else just so he could make sure that Ganymede does not die and that he could watch Ganymede all the time. But Zeus is a bit weird in Rick Riordan's fantastical world, and he's also a bit weird in the actual Greek mythology stories. So Ganymede, as the cupbearer, has a magical chalice, and as you can guess, it is the chalice that the title's about. This chalice, if a mortal person drinks it, they turn immortal. Now you might ask, why did Ganymede ask Percy to do this if the cup turns someone immortal if they drink it? Because in the original series, Percy Jackson, and just Percy Jackson, I guess, Percy, at the end, after making sure that he saves the entire world and all of the gods, gets the opportunity to become a god himself. But he doesn't become a god so that he can grow old and die with his girlfriend, Annabeth Chase. So that's why Ganymede thinks that Percy will definitely, maybe, not drink from the cup. As the story goes on, we see how Percy kinda doesn't do the quest anymore for himself, but decides to do it so that he can save Ganymede. Because if Zeus found out that Ganymede lost his chalice, he would very much probably die. And so that's why he wants the chalice quickly. So Percy starts to, instead of just doing it so he can get his recommendation letters, he starts to do it so that he can help Ganymede. Because he starts to empathize with Ganymede, and he sees why Ganymede is so frustrated. The biggest bit of the story was the fight with Geras, the god of old age. Geras is actually talked about in the myth about Hercules, where Hercules wrestles Geras, who was a very strong old man, even though he's the god of old age, and looks like a very old man. He's very strong. I think he would be strong being god, but he's very strong, so he almost beats Hercules, but because Hercules was such a strong movement, he managed to make a draw with Geras. So when Geras does the option to fight Percy so that he can get the chalice, Percy accepts because he does not know the story about Hercules and Geras. And then, so he goes through a bunch of different things that he has to do, and on top of it, he has to make sure that he studies and does his homework, and then make sure that he does very good on all his quizzes. So this picture is one. Percy does a side quest for Iris, the goddess of rainbows, so that he can get some more information about where the chalice is. As you can see, the snakes here. Percy is flying. Not how he's flying, since he's the son of Poseidon or Zeus. And he also has a staff. This staff is the staff of Iris. And Iris used to be the messenger god before Hermes was born and took the job. So when he needs to get out of the situation with the snakes, he just thinks that he needs to tell a message to his girlfriend, and he flies away and can tell the message. In the book, there's also a bonus chapter at the very end. The bonus chapter is of another new book that Rick Riordan made in 2023, but he made it in May 12th of 2023. This book is about the sun and the star, our Nico D'Angelo story. But to find out a bit more, you'd have to actually buy that book. A bit more about this particular book is that at the end, Percy realizes that he did the quest for Ganymede and not just for himself to get the recommendation letters, which is something that Percy realizes at the very end when he talks to Poseidon after the quest is finished, and he gives the chalice to Ganymede so that he can serve Zeus and Rhea, who is the goddess of motherhood, and Hera. And in the book talks a lot about embracing old age, which is one of the most important things that it talks about, and also an important thing that it talks about in the fight with Geras, where to survive, Percy thinks about how he wants to embrace old age and how he wants to become old with Annabeth and Rover, his best friend, who is also a Satyr, a half goat, a half human. So Percy thinks about it and he hugs Chalice, the god of old age, which in doubt leaves him winning the battle and Chalice giving him the cup or chalice to give back to Ganymede. So then this book is mostly talking about, so then we can see from that particular part of the book that this book is mostly talking about embracing old age and showing that you're not afraid to become old or die. And also there's a ton of different gods. I would recommend this book to people who like Greek mythology or fictional stories and stories with a lot of fiction in them, because this story is very much probably not real. At least I hope it's not real. That would be terrifying to have monsters running around all the time. So this book is very much fictional, and if you like Greek mythology, you should probably get this book because it is very much about Greek mythology, having lots of different gods in it, such as Phoebe, Iris, Zeus, Poseidon, Ganymede, Geras, a lot of different gods. And then you can also get our waterstones in maybe any waterstones I can find, or you can buy it off Amazon. That's all for today. Please like and subscribe if you like this video today. Bye. See you later. See you in the next video, guys.
An acceleration தான் பண்ணி இந்த கார்ல. காலை வச்சோனே பறக்குது நேர்களே.